Hello children. So dear children, we have stopped in the last lecture at solar mass. Solar mass. Now we will discuss about this time, unit of time. So 1 second is defined as 1 upon 86,400th part of mean solar day. What is this 86,400? So this 86,400 we are getting 365, that is number of days in a year, multiplied by 24, that is in hours we are converting. Then we will multiply it with 60 to convert it into minute. Then again we will multiply with 60 to convert it into second. So this is all these multiplication gives 86,400 part of a mean solar day. 1 second is defined in that way. Another definition in terms of energy change in cesium atom. 1 second is the duration in which cesium atom vibrates 919263177 time. So this much time the cesium atom vibrates in 1 second. So this is the standard that they have seen. The scientists have performed the experiments with these cesium atoms. It is one element and its one atom vibrates this much time in 1 second. So they have initialized this as standard unit, that is 1 second. So millisecond means 10 raised to the power minus 3 second, microsecond means 10 raised to the power minus 6, nano means 10 raised to the power minus 9, and one more new one is there, one shake equals to 10 raised to the power minus 8 second. So these are the smaller units of time. Millisecond means 10 raised to the power minus 3, microsecond means 10 raised to the power minus 6, nanosecond means 10 raised to the power minus 9. Now some bigger units of time. Minute, you are knowing it is equals to 60 second. So 1 hour equals to 60 minute. So that means 60 into 60 second. So that means 3600 second. 1 hour comprises of 3600 seconds. Or we can say 1 day equals to 24 hour. That means 24 into 60. That means 1440. That is 1440 minute. Or we can convert it into second also. Then we will get 86,400 seconds. So these are just a simple conversion that you can do in a better way. Okay children. Now year. So just you see 1 year comprises of 365 days. So 365 into 86,400. What is 86,400? 24 into 60 into 60. Okay. So we got 3.16 into 10 to the power 7 seconds. So 1 year we are having 3.16 into 10 to the power 7 seconds. So we can obtain these things. Leap year, it is the year in which 29 number of days are there in the month of February. Then decade means 10 years, century means 100 years, millennium means 1000 years. Next we will see some examples of derived units. Area, that means meter square, volume, meter cube, speed, meter per second, acceleration, meter per second square, density, kilogram per meter cube. So these are the examples of the derived units. And force, that is MA, mass into acceleration. So kilogram, mass is measured in kilogram and acceleration is meter per second square. So we will get kilogram meter per second square. So work or energy, that is force into displacement. Force means just above we have seen kilogram meter per second square, and displacement we will multiply it with meter. So we will get it as kilogram meter square per second square. Momentum equals to mv, that is mass into velocity, that is kilogram meter per second. Power, kilogram meter square per second cube, and that is also denoted by power as joule per second, or we call it as watt. Okay, so that work or energy, we can write that unit as joule, which we will study further. So torque or a moment of force, that is also force into distance. So we will get kilogram meter square per second square. So these are the derived units. We are using the fundamental units to derive these things. Okay. So now general guidelines for writing the units. So the symbol for a unit named after a scientist is written with first letter his or her name in capital. For example, N for Newton, J for joules, W for watt, PA for Pascal, HZ for Hertz, C for Coulomb, that is for measuring charge, HZ means Hertz, that is for frequency, Pascal, that is for pressure. Watt, just now I have told you, that is for the power. Joule, that is for energy or the work done. Newton means force. C, that is for coulomb, that is for the charge. V for volt or the EMF. On the other hand, a unit which is not named after a scientist is written in small letter like meter, second. So these things you will get practiced by doing the numericals. You will be familiar how we will write the units. Full name of the unit, whether after name of a scientist or not after the name of a scientist, is always written with a lower initial letter. Like unit of mass is kilogram, not as kilogram. That is not, we will not use the K as capital. Unit of length is meter. We will not use capital M. Okay, means that are not the name of a scientist, whether the name of a scientist or not the name of a scientist. A compound unit formed by multiplication of 2 or more than 2 units is written after putting a dot or cross. Okay, that is Newton meter. Unit in its short form is never written in plural form. Like 20 meter cannot be written as 20 ms because it looks like millisecond. So if you are writing ms, it will denote millisecond. So you cannot write it in plural form. Okay, so these units, these numericals and other things we will discuss in the separate class. So first we will cover this theoretical concept. Okay, so now we came on the measuring instruments. We have talked about much in the first lecture itself, that what are measuring instruments, so I have told you that whenever the measuring instruments, that word comes into our mind, that should automatically come our mind that what should be its least count. If that word is not coming, that means there is no standardization, there is no perfect standardization of that thing. So least count immediately comes to our mind. Okay, so measuring instruments, those instruments which are used to measure the particular physical quantities, so that are measuring instruments. So least count of a measuring instrument. Every instrument has a minimum limit for accuracy of measurement of any physical quantity called the least count. That is, the least count of a measuring instrument is the least or the smallest measurement that can be measured accurately. The least count of a measuring instrument is the least or the smallest measurement that can be measured accurately. In the first lecture only I have given you this definition. What is the least count? It is the smallest measurement that can be made by using that instrument, that much only. So I have discussed about the meter scale also in the first lecture. The least count of a meter scale is 1 millimeter, because there are 10 small divisions between 0 and 1 centimeter. Therefore, value of one small division is 1 upon 10 centimeter, that is 1 millimeter. So least count we can say as 1 millimeter, or we can say 0.1 centimeter, anything we can say. I have told you in the first lecture itself that instead of millimeter we are generally taking it as centimeter. So 0.1 centimeter. Now if a small division is further divided into 2 divisions, then the value of the smallest division is half millimeter as 0.5 millimeter. Therefore smaller is the least count, more will be the accuracy. As smaller as the least count will be, more accurate the instrument will be. I have told you earlier also, that is, when we will move towards the vernier caliper, its least count we will get 0.01 centimeter. When we will further move towards the screw gauge, its least count we will see that 0.001 centimeter. So that means vernier caliper is more precise than measuring scale, and screw gauge is more precise than the vernier caliper. So these things you should take care of while studying. Measurement of length now. Now just we will see measurement of length. Length of a body is measured with the help of a meter scale with accuracy of 1 millimeter. That we are knowing, which is the least count of the meter scale. But if more accuracy is required in the measurement of the length, then we can use vernier caliper and screw gauge having least count lesser than 1 millimeter. So it is very clear. If length only we have to measure, that is up to 1 millimeter, or we can say 0.1 centimeter, then we can use the scale. If more precise value we want, then we have to use vernier caliper. Then we will use vernier caliper, or further most precise we want, then we will use screw gauge. So now you see principle of vernier. On whatever instruments we are studying, that is based on some particular principle. So that principle is very important. What is the principle of vernier? On what principle it is based? So the vernier has two scales, that is main scale and the vernier scale. Main scale and the vernier scale. Main scale and the vernier scale. So main scale is graduated with the value of one small division correct up to 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter, like a scale only, measuring scale. And the graduation on the vernier scale are made in such a way that the value of divisions of the vernier scale is equals to n minus 1 divisions of the main scale. N minus 1 divisions of the main scale. A vernier has 10 divisions. So according to this vernier principle, value of n divisions of the vernier scale corresponds to value of n minus 1 divisions of the main scale. So this is very important line that you have to take care of. This is the basic principle of the vernier. N divisions are there on the vernier scale, suppose, then there should be n minus 1 divisions correspondingly on the main scale along with the vernier scale. So if vernier scale are having n divisions, then correspondingly the main scale should have value of n minus 1 divisions of the main scale. That is, value of 10 divisions of the vernier scale should correspond to value of 9 divisions of the main scale. So 10 minus 1, 9. So value of 10 divisions on the vernier scale corresponds to value of 9 divisions of the main scale. तो ये difference होता है, ये difference we are getting, that is 1 division difference we are getting. So value of 10 divisions of the vernier scale corresponds to value of 9 divisions of the main scale. Now you apply the unitary method. So value of 1 division of the vernier scale will correspond to value of 9 by 10 divisions of the main scale, that is 0.9 millimeter. So we got 0.9 millimeters. So that is difference of one small division of the main scale and the vernier scale is 1 millimeter minus 0.09 millimeter, that is 0.1 millimeter. So this 0.1 millimeter, this is the least count of the vernier scale. So vernier scale has the least count of 0.1 millimeter, or we can say 0.01 centimeter. Okay, least count of the vernier scale. Least count of the vernier scale. So it is simply the difference between the value of one small division of the main scale and the value of one small division of the vernier scale. तो जाहिर सी बात है, मेन स्केल में अगर 1 मिलीमीटर होगा तो वर्नियर पे क्या होगा 0.9 मिलीमीटर. Okay, one small division of the main scale and value of one small divisions of the vernier scale. So that means least count equals to 1 millimeter minus 0.09 millimeter. So we get it as 0.1 millimeter. 0.1 millimeter. Okay, so this is all about that equations, that is about least count only. So least count equals to value of one small division of the main scale divided by total number of divisions on the vernier scale. So if you are having any confusion, you just remember this thing. It is very simple. Value of one small division of the main scale, that is 1 millimeter. Total number of divisions on the vernier scale, that we are taking it as 10. On the vernier scale, we are having total number of divisions as 10. So 1 upon 10 is the least count. 1 upon 10 means 0.1. 1 upon 10 means 0.1. But that 0.1 is millimeter. That 0.1 is millimeter. That 0.1 is not centimeter. That 0.1 is not centimeter. So if you have to convert it to centimeter, then we will get 0.01 centimeter. So least count of a vernier caliper is 0.1 millimeter or 0.01 centimeter. So it is more sensitive and more precise and more accurate than the normal measuring scale. Normal measuring scale. So this figure is also given, main scale and the vernier scale. Okay, so now the basic construction of this vernier caliper, which I will show you in the lab. When we will move towards the lab, then when we will meet in the classroom, then we will go to the lab and I will show you vernier caliper also, screw gauge also, and we will perform the experiment also based on that one. So vernier caliper, just you see how it is made. So in this one only you have to take care of that it is having one main scale and it is having one vernier scale, and two jaws are there that are movable, jaw J1 and J2, jaw J1 and J2, they are the lower jaws, and there are two more jaws, upper jaws. So upper jaws are used to measure the internal diameter. Internal diameter, we can just put that one inside the beaker and we can take its diameter, internal diameter. And these lower jaws are used to measure the external diameter, external parameters. How to use it and how to measure the things, that we will discuss in this section. So two jaws are there. Suppose we have to measure the external diameter of any bob. Bob, you may be understanding, bob is just like a small spherical ball, metallic ball, that we are keeping it in between the two jaws, and we are bringing the two jaws and we are tightening those jaws so that it should be held in between the two jaws, that bob. Now we can measure the diameter of that bob easily. So what are the formulas and other things that we will use, that I am going to tell you. That is, we will use the formula. If you want, you can note down: main scale reading plus number of vernier division coincident with the main scale into least count. In this way we will measure. If our instrument is correct, it is not having any zero error, then we will take the main scale reading. Main scale reading, we can just see from the main scale what it is showing. We will record it, then we will see that which division of the vernier scale is coinciding with the main scale. Vernier scale is divided into total 10 divisions. So out of these 10 divisions, any one division will coincide exactly with the main scale. So that division which is coinciding exactly with the main scale, that division we will consider. Suppose it is 3. So main scale reading, suppose it is 0.5. So 0.5 plus, suppose division coincident is 3. So 3 into least count. So that will give the diameter of that bob. So simply we will calculate and we will write the answer. That is, the diameter of the bob is this much centimeter or this much millimeter. So in this way we used to measure the diameter or the thickness of that particular object which we have kept in between the two jaws, of a vernier caliper. Now some more things are coming in this perspective, that if these instruments are having the zero error, then we have to remove that zero error. We have to remove that zero error from this actual reading. This is the actual reading which we have got. What we have got? Main scale reading plus number of division coincident into least count. This is the actual reading. From this actual reading, what we have to do is, we have to subtract. What we have to subtract? We have to subtract that zero error. The zero error will be either positive zero error or negative zero error. How we are getting the positive zero error and the negative zero error, that we will discuss just now. So first we will see just what is given in your book. You see here. So vernier caliper, it is an instrument by which length of a rod, diameter of a bob or any spherical object, internal and external diameter of a cylinder and depth of any container can be measured. So these things can be measured. So its construction, how it is constructed. It has a long thin metallic strip provided with a jaw J1 at one end, and the strip is graduated with a scale called main scale. The value of each is small scale is 1 millimeter. Another metal strip provided with a jaw J2 at the other end slides over the main scale, and this strip is having 10 small divisions equals to the value of 9 small divisions on the main scale. If divisions on the vernier scale are increased, then there will be more accuracy in the measurement. The vernier scale can be fixed with a screw. The lower jaws are called the inside jaws, measures outer diameter, and the upper jaws are called the inside jaws, measured internal diameter of a body. So these things we have discussed already. So this is all about the construction. So diagram you can see. Now the least count of the vernier caliper, that we have seen, value of one division of the main scale divided by total number of divisions of the vernier scale, that is 1 upon 10. 1 upon 10 means 0.1 millimeter, or we can say 0.01 centimeter. Okay. So these are the basic construction. Now we will see the zero error. So what is zero error? So if the two jaws you are bringing close to each other, then the zero of the main scale exactly coincides with the zero of the vernier scale. Zero of the main scale exactly coincides with the zero of the vernier scale. Then there is no zero. That is, instrument is perfect. We can use it directly and we can take the readings and we can predict that this reading is perfect and it is correct. But generally it is not happening due to mishandling and other factors. We are having some zero errors in the vernier calipers. So we are having positive zero errors and the negative zero errors in the vernier caliper. So these positive zero errors and the negative zero errors we will discuss in the next class, dear students. So now we are stopping at this particular point. So thank you.